Hello, welcome to another episode of North London Is. We're recording straight after the 2-2 draw at the Emirates. Mixed feelings, probably from both Perry and myself. Perry, how you feeling?
I'm actually relieved. I've been driving back, and I'm actually relieved. I think. Look, I'm obviously going to always be pro Arsenal. You're going to be pro Spurs. For me, my biggest anger is why all our players are getting injured. I don't understand it. Declan Rice is never injured. He gets injured. He doesn't come out for the second half. Thomas Partey, for 35 years of Atletico, never gets injured. Trossard at Brighton never gets injured. And I'm sick and tired of it.
But surely, Arteta spent just under 700 million.
Yeah, no, I'm relieved.
You should have a big enough
I'm relieved that Maddison went off, because I think had Maddison stayed on, I think you might look. Richarlison's a donkey. Our goal that we gave you within 16 seconds of taking the lead, Jorginho does that. And listen, the guy's captained Italy at the Euros, so I'm relieved. Once again, I think it was a really good chance for you to beat us. Listen, I think in the second half, everybody's going on about it being an incredible game. I can't actually remember the goalkeepers doing much in the second half.
No.
We had a lot of corners, and Van der Ven was getting his head to most corners, and Eddie Nketiah was picking his nose at most corners. But actually, was the second half? I do think it was a penalty. I actually do think it was a penalty. But anyway, you start. You go first, and I'm going to reply to you.
It's really weird, because normally I'd be delighted to get a point. I told you last week I'd take a point all day long, and I am happy with a point. But at half time, as you rightly say, Rice is off. All right, we equalised just before half time, so the momentum was with us. But and I think you're right. I think if Maddison had stayed on, I think we could have gone on and nicked that. I really do.
Yeah.
It was a good opportunity for us. You did have a few players out. I take note of that. Bit strange that, I think it was a shame that Johnson went off as well, because
I was very happy. I mean, he was, although everybody's saying what a save from David Raya in the first half, actually he doesn't. He
doesn't connect quite well.
If he's connect that, then it's one of the best saves I've ever seen in my life. It was a good save. Look, Son's first goal I actually thought was a very good goal. I mean, a lot of Arsenal fans are saying it's terrible defending from us, but Maddison's done Saka, and we'll come on to Saka Udogie in a minute. Don't worry about that. But Maddison's done Saka, and then we've got three players around Son, and it's a great finish. But for God's sake, man, one of you get a touch to it.
Well, you say that. I mean, Udogie got booked on the 14th minute, and I was shouting at the boys, we need to take him off, because he's on a yellow. Saka, that's what your first goal came from, because Udogie didn't want to get near him. He shot.
He was brilliant. Saka until he got injured. By the way, another injury. He kept him on for the last half an hour. I think it's just come out. He was injured. So we'll just take him off then. If you're injured, just take him off. Because Udogie was there for a yellow card. Romero was there for a yellow card. But we're not ruthless. We're not. I know you've had Mourinho before. Mourinho gets Udogie sent off if he's on.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about. And my oldest was saying, keep him on, keep Udogie on until half time. And I said, there's still half an hour to go to half time. The game could be lost by then. But he actually did recover quite well. He went into his shell for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the first half after that booking. But he actually ended up finishing the first half reasonably.
But we weren't ruthless enough.
You should have gone for him. You should have run at him.
Udogie was finished.
Yeah, you should have run at him.
Scored the first goal.
Not just Saka, everyone.
Saka was fantastic until he got injured. With half an hour to go, he shouldn't have even been on the pitch. But he was brilliant. And Nketiah, diabolical. I mean, I think Richarlison's better than Nketiah. I really do. And I don't rate Richarlison at all. He offered nothing today. He should have been playing. Listen, he's very unlucky, Arteta, that after 6 games, both Martinelli and Trossard can't play the North London derby. For me, Martinelli was the bit. Well, obviously, Declan Rice and Partey, the central midfield is not there. But Martinelli for me, because I actually thought Porro had a very good game for Spurs today, because we didn't know Gabriel Jesus shouldn't be there. He should be in the middle. He should be in the middle of the pitch. And it's just so annoying. But I honestly believe Spurs, although you're very happy with a 2-2 draw at the Emirates, I think
2 points drop.
I would say after the game, had Harry Kane been available, you win that game.
Yeah.
You win that game. But look, it is what it is. I think I stand by what I say. The second half for the neutrals good, but was there really, oh my God, what a save moments? There wasn't really, was there? It was.
No, I mean, if we start analysing the game, I mean, I started taking notes, for the pod, in the first half. But by the second half, everything went out the window. I'm not sure what minute happened. But, Arsenal started, I thought, quite well. And that goal was certainly coming, even though it was,
deflected,
an own goal. But
I'm so annoyed because he wasn't given it. It's Romero own goal, and I wanted him from my fantasy football tracker, but there you go.
How good is Van den Ven, by the way?
Yeah, he played very well, but he's up again. Listen, let me tell you, right? I thought Van den Ven played well today, but Romero, by the way, again, we didn't even take, go for the jugular. Play Gabriel Jesus, South American v South American. Play Jesus right up on Romero. Get into.
You know what I found unbelievable in a North London derby? When Romero got booked, right? He was joking with Gabriel Jesus.
It's terrible.
They should be. It's a North London derby. They should be pinching each other. They should
Argentinian v Brazilian. I thought Jesus and Nketiah were very poor. I thought Saka was outstanding for the first hour. Absolutely sad. There was one bit where he doesn't go past people with speed. He just goes past people with guile. He was just brilliant for the first hour. I thought Odegaard was poor. In the first half, he was okay. Declan Rice was very good in the first half. And apart from your goal, I know Raya made a good save. I actually thought we defended quite well. Zinchenko, by the way, did not play inverted at all today. At all. But that was very good from Spurs because they made sure that he couldn't play inverted because they made sure, I think it was Johnson on his side, was it? Or was it Kulusevski?
Kula was playing on the left.
So it was.
No, Kula was playing on the right. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was good from Spurs because Zinchenko wasn't able to invert that much, but I was relieved at the end. I'm happy. I honestly, with the last, I know we had a lot of possession at the end, and we had so many corners and all of that. And the possession for the last 15 minutes, I know, was massive Arsenal. But actually, with Jorginho and Havertz in that midfield, I'm saying, give me the draw. And that is what I'm really upset about for 2 reasons. Number one, because we should be challenging City. And number 2, because I'm just gutted with, after 6 games, we've got 6 big players out. After 6 games, what is, and I know that Manchester United and Chelsea, it's even, and we'll come on to him in a minute, it's even worse for them. They've got like 11 or 12 players out of Chelsea, somebody said today. But look, that's football.
I mean, listen, I just wanted, before the game, I would have taken a defeat had we gone there and shown a bit of ambition, which we haven't over the last few years. It's heart in mouth time, when we play it out from back with our keeper. But they had the ball. They had the balls to do it. And Maddison, when Maddison got dispossessed in the first half, and Jesus shot over, that should have been game over. And that should, a quality striker. I'm sorry. Finishes that.
I agree. He's Nketiah and Jesus today. Seriously, I know Van den Ven played quite well. I didn't think Romero did. I'm not just the goal. But come on, hold on, get it on target. make Vicario work. And then Nketiah in the first half, when we got round the back of Ndogi, and Nketiah shot, and he shot straight at Vicario. Either lift it or pass the ball. And I think both sides, honestly, I think both sides could regret. I think that had Martinelli or Trossard played today, I think we would have scored one more goal. But I think both teams may regret not going for Ivan Toney at Christmas. But I think he'll probably go to Chelsea now. But listen, it's 2-2. It's you still haven't beaten us at the Emirates, which is lovely, apart from Kabul. I am gutted because I thought coming into that game after PSV, obviously we're just going to not talk about Europe because Spurs aren't in it. It's totally up to you.
Very good.
But I was gutted because I think we had to win today. You can't draw a home game.
I mean, Spurs' temperament to go to the Emirates was very good. I mean, they came back twice today from being behind. What do you feel about giving away a goal so quickly after making it 2-1? I mean, the interesting thing on the telly is, they were saying that the emotions of the managers were quite different. Arteta is emotional, all right?
Yeah.
Ange on the touchline was quite cool. And I think that reflects in your play. I mean, we've conceded after just scoring, previously. But it is a sin. You've got, that is when you're most vulnerable.
This is what kills me. The rhetoric is Maddison, beautiful ball to Son good goal. No, it's not. It's not. It's a Jorginho mistake. It's pathetic. It's diabolical. Straight after you score, you keep calm.
Yeah.
And I can't even have a go at Arteta so much because Rice has gone off injured. Thomas Partey doesn't even start the game. And I'll come back to that later on. If he's not going to be able to start the game, and please, enough now. And Jorginho, who is the Italian central midfielder, I don't think he plays anymore, actually. But, the guy is proper. Yeah, he's a great player to bring on when you're winning. He's given the ball away. I mean, come on. I mean, and what was funny from a Spurs point of view, it's very funny. I'm screaming, where's Gabriel? Because Son's unmarked. It's 2-on-1. It's Maddison and Saliba's doesn't know what to do. And Gabriel is halfway. He's on the side, trying to get. He wants to get the ball from Jorginho because I've watched it on some footage on Twitter, and I'm like, again, it's not Gabriel's fault. It's Jorginho's fault.
Yeah.
But listen, it's still got to be the correct pass from Maddison. It's still got to be the finish from Son. But it's terrible from Jorginho, and that's the difference. City are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. City. Do
you? I mean, if you were a neutral watching, say, Sheffield United v Newcastle, you honestly think that was a deliberate handball by Romero?
No, I don't think it is a deliberate handball from Romero. But I think on what we've seen in the last 18 months, it's a penalty, isn't it? Because he's got his hand up. It's not a deliberate handball. He's so far away. He's so near that I don't think he can get out of the way. But I don't know anymore the rules. I actually don't know. I saw that Basuma got done for dissent in the first half. Come on. I mean, I love
Odegaard got booked for showing an imaginary Clark. I mean, that's just ridiculous, I think.
Listen, all of that, for me, the biggest disappointment is at the end of the first half, you've got three yellow cards. A doggy?
Yeah.
Basuma?
Yeah.
Can't remember. Oh, and Maddison. And Ferguson and Mourinho are going to be all over that. They're going to say, get run. Listen, unfortunately, from an Arsenal point of view today, our bench was the weakest it's been for about a year. Terrible bench. Nobody to really threaten you. Don't get me wrong. Nelson, to be honest, I would have actually possibly even started with Nelson today and Gabriel Jesus in midfield. Kai Havertz, I can't defend him anymore.
He had that one chance where if he was more composed, I mean, he walloped it over the bar. But my heart was in my mouth there.
Going back to when we were at school, Jules, even before we were at school, my first school, the headmaster used to say with footballers, busy. Be busy. Come and want the ball. Havertz doesn't want the ball.
Yeah.
He's scared. Declan Rice wants the ball. Maddison wants the ball. Odegaard, who didn't have a good game today, wants the ball. Do you know what I mean? They want the ball. Havertz doesn't want the ball. He doesn't want the ball. It's no.
I mean, my heart was in my mouth again when Maddison went down, because that looked a bad.
That looks awful.
And
personally, I don't think he looked fit at the end there.
I'm still worried about that, because even though he carried on for another 10 minutes or so, but
listen,
I just saw the interview with him. He didn't seem to suggest it was serious.
No, I don't. Listen, everything, as I said to you last week or the week before, the stars have aligned for Spurs at the moment. Everything is good, apart from Bentancur. Everybody's fit. Everybody's good. Are you going to win the league? No. Are you going to finish top 2? Don't think so. Are you reliant on a couple of players? Yes. But you've got your defensively stronger. In Maddison, you've got one of the best players in the Premiership. If you had kept Kane, who knows what could have happened?
Yeah.
Because
that's a big regret, because, you know,
the difference between, I know Sonny scored 2 good goals.
You know, I watched the interview during the week with Lineker, with Big Ange, and, you know, Lineker's mentioned it a few times in his pods and what have you. You know, we signed Lineker, and that summer we then sold.
Got rid of Waddle.
And that's, you know, that's still great, Lineker. And you just think Maddison and Kane, oh, what a partnership. You know, but listen, sorry?
No, I honestly believe today that I was worried, because it looks like the stars have aligned for Spurs at the moment. So I was worried you were going to nick it at the end. But actually, when I'm driving back and being calm, you can't compare Richarlison with Kane. It's like a Mini and a Ferrari. And don't get me wrong, I know he's had a bit of a bad time, Richarlison, but no, I was interested that he took Son off.
Yeah, because I thought his pace would have troubled you, because you played midweek in that sort of.
And not only did we play midweek, Jules, it was wet, it was pouring, it was heavy. And I would have kept Son on. I understand he had to take Maddison off. I get that. He was injured. But we were there for the taking.
You know, it's a shame, because if Maddison and Johnson didn't come off, I do believe you were there for the taking.
I can't disagree with it.
You know, but listen, everyone said, you know, Paul Merson said you'll wallop us, and, you know, you wouldn't get near us. And most pundits, you know, said we'll struggle without Kane. Listen, it's only 6 games, but wow, you know, I wasn't sure. This was our first big test, really, today.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, I know we played United, but we still went there. And, you know, I know Big Ange, and people can say we're going to go and play our game, but, you know, I wasn't 100% sure, you know, if we'd have the balls to do it. And we did. And, you know, it's scary to watch, you know, as Maddison nearly gave away a goal. But more often than not, it looked good. We played composed. It's very encouraging the way we're playing. It's funny. We both sorts of need an out-and-out goal scorer, I feel. You know.
Listen, Arsenal should have gone 2-3-0 up today. And they didn't, because we do not have a world-class centre forward. The problem is there aren't that many. There's Kane, there's maybe Salah, but he comes in from the left or the right. And after that, there's Lewandowski, and then you've got different type of players. You know, obviously Haaland is just, you know, I mean, you put Haaland with Martinelli on one side and Saka on the other. I will say this though, and a lot of Spurs fans who will listen to this, and well done to James J, who called it last night on Friday night. He said it would be 2-2. So shout out to him. He'll like this. I honestly believe, and obviously you will disagree, but I honestly believe that we missed too many players today. We just, in that second half, it was just an embarrassment for Arsenal. And unfortunately, it still shows that City and Liverpool, by the way, have got better squads than us. Listen, Tottenham without Basuma, Sarr, Maddison.
What did you think of Basuma? How good?
I thought today he was 7 out of 10. I thought today he was 7 out of 10. Sarr's a bit raw. He makes a
He's
couple
always
of
a bit raw. He is a
yeah.
bit raw.
To
But
be honest,
I was worried our midfield, was going to be totally overrun. And as you
the
mentioned
first
earlier,
half an hour, Jules, the first half an hour, we were getting behind you 2, 3, 4 times. Once Jorginho cut, but this is the problem.
you're right. But you didn't really trouble our keeper.
No, we didn't. Jorginho and Havertz for Partey and Rice. It's like, no, it's not. And listen, but listen, that's football.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Arsenal, along with United and Chelsea, and you laugh at City at the moment are coming to the Emirates in 2 weeks, and they've got no Rodri and no De Bruyne. But who knows what we're going to have? I don't know who we're going to have. And I've always said this for a long, long time. It's a shame that injuries and suspensions are the key. I think they've been the key for 25 years.
You say that, but you spent 60 odd million on Havertz.
Havertz.
You've committed, though you may not have spent it. You've committed probably 30 odd million on Raya. All right, that's 90 odd. That's but he's probably a slightly better keeper than Ramsdale, but not a lot in it. With that 90 million that you spent on those two players,
you could have bought Tony.
You could have bought Tony. You could have bought, you could have, improved the squad better, I think.
Listen, the Brandon Johnson signing for you is a good signing because he's a good long term. I would have preferred, instead of Kai Havertz, instead of signing somebody like Kai Havertz, I'm not saying Brandon Johnson so much, but I would have signed. I actually would have gone for Ollie Watkins.
Oh yeah,
I would have gone. Who again?
I don't think anyone would have got him.
No, I agree,
especially under 80, 90.
But the thing is, I still say that we cannot. I mean, it's laughable what's happening to Chelsea and United at the moment, but they do have a lot of players out, key players out. And even Man City, I know they've had De Bruyne and Stones out, but they still, it's not, Liverpool. I don't know if you remember, but Liverpool last year and 2 seasons ago, they had terrible injuries and struggled to finish top 4. So I pray that we get our injured players back. I still stand by the fact I think it was a good chance for Spurs to beat us today at the end. I really do.
Yeah,
I know.
Listen, I'm disappointed. With a draw. I would have taken that at the beginning of the game, don't get me wrong. But
cracking game for you next week.
I think that shows the progress Ange has made.
Yeah.
Listen, Arteta's had 8, 9 transfer windows. Big Ange has had 1. He's at the start of his rebuild. It's very encouraging that he can go and instill the confidence in the players to play football at grounds like the Emirates.
I agree.
Long may it continue.
Yeah. It just
anyway. Before we start reviewing next week's fixtures, just very quickly, I don't know if you saw any of the City game yesterday.
Rodri,
I actually watched it. They went 2-0 up within quarter of an hour, and they were coasting. And you thought, "Oh, this could be 5 or 6." And then early in the second half, they got Rodrigo sent off, which obviously he misses the game against your lot in 2 weeks, and he is a phenomenal player.
No, he's the best.
He doesn't, I think, grab the headlines as much as he should.
No, he is better than Rice. He's better than Partey. He's better than Basuma. He's the best midfielder in the world at that position.
And they had to hold on. Not hold on. They defended quite well, in fairness.
Yeah, they did. I don't think holds on the right. But listen, they almost definitely will win it unless they get a catalogue of injuries. But Liverpool, again, 16 games now unbeaten, very much under the radar. Already gone to Newcastle, already gone to Chelsea. Coming to you next week. If they're unbeaten after next week, they would have played 3 very hard away games in 7 games. Liverpool are a threat to City, no question, because they've got the squad. Look at their front 5.
Yeah.
I
still think they need to get at the back because the first half against Wolves, they could have easily been 2 down.
Yeah,
last week.
Well, this is the thing. The interesting thing next week is, I think, will be an exciting game like it was today because you'll try and hit them and not hit them on the break. The one thing I will say about Ange playing we had you hemmed in today for that 35.
I mean, we had 57% possession, which is, we never had that with Conte or Mourinho. It was counter, we did take the game to you. Yes, I agree. Both keepers didn't have a lot to do. But
next week will be interesting. You're at home to Liverpool. I think Liverpool, have they got, it's no Europe this week. It's the League Cup. So I don't know if Liverpool will have a game, but they've got such a good squad. I'd be interested to watch that game. I think it'll be a cracking game.
Did you see any of United last night?
I watched a tiny bit of United. Oh. Fantastic goal.
Great goal. Amazing goal. But, it's just...
Burnley had over 60% possession.
I mean, I think Burnley are going to struggle this year, because it was always a tough game, when you play Burnley under Sean Dyche. Listen, I much prefer the way they tried to play football. And in periods, they did play quite nice football, but they don't really hurt teams. And that's my worry for them this season.
On the game, I dropped my son at the station today, and he went to play the drums at the in the North Bank. And basically, I said to him, I think Luton, Sheffield United and Burnley will go down. I did say to you last week, you said Everton. I don't think Everton will go down. I know they won yesterday, but I just don't think they'll go down because I think they've got that result in them. I don't think Luton are ever going to go to Brentford and win 3 or 4-1. Luton, for me, are going to struggle. Burnley and Sheffield United. And again, it annoys me because you came into the game with such confidence. And that annoys me as well. But listen, I'm actually probably one of the few Gooners who can honestly, hand on heart, say I am relieved at the end of that game. I think when I saw that midfield for the second half and his persistence with Eddie Nketiah up front, I'm relieved that you didn't nick it 3-2. And to be honest, I can't remember Raya making a save in the second half. I think there was a chance when Richarlison, it was a bit of a weird one, didn't it? It kind of lobbed up in the air.
It took a deflection.
But we didn't.
We was going to carry that into the goal.
But we didn't have a chance in the second half. Not really. I mean, the penalty was a penalty. We didn't either. It was like, so I think a lot.
And when the 10 minutes injury time comes on, I mean, I just thought, you just know it. You're attacking the stand you like to attack.
It was corners. It was corners. We had corners.
Yeah. And you didn't really throw the kitchen sink at us. But that's probably because,
you defended well, but we should have had more about us. We should have had more. But
so going on to next week, obviously you got an easy game at Bournemouth.
Yeah,
I don't think they've won yet this season.
They haven't won. It will very much depend. Listen, if Trossard's out, Martinelli's out, Saka's out, Declan Rice is out, I'm nervous.
I don't know how bad these injuries are.
No, I don't. I would hope. Listen, after that, you've got City. But after the Bournemouth game, we've got the European tie away on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And actually City are away, funny enough, against Leipzig, which is probably their hardest game. So Arteta's got to really think about it. I think Wednesday night in the League Cup, I think we'll play the youth team. But I think we'll win. And I think it will be, we'll win 3-1. Your game could be very similar to today. I think it'll be 2-2.
Yeah, I said last week I would be delighted with 2 points from these two games. We're at home, so but whether we're home or away nowadays under Big Ange, I think we're attack teams. So it will be interesting. I'd like to think we could, give them a good game. I think we will give them a good game.
I think you will.
Can we nick it? Yeah, of course we can nick it. I hope Maddison's injury isn't too bad. He looked okay at the end.
Oh, you don't want him injured. Forget it.
He makes us tick.
He's the quarterback. He is the quarterback. Forget it if he's injured. But it didn't look like he stayed on, so it's fine.
But listen, Son looks like he's coming back into form. He scored. He took both goals very well today.
The first goal was outstanding. It really was.
Even the second goal, it was a beautiful, pass by Maddison. He didn't overhit it, and he composed himself. He let it run through.
Yeah. The difference is between the first and second goal. The second goal he has to score. You're going mental if he doesn't score.
Yeah.
The first goal is not good defending, but it's great play from Son. It really is good play to get.
And it was a great time to score just before half time.
Exactly. It's just annoying from Arsenal. It just doesn't happen. If you're going to win leagues and you're going to win Champions Leagues, you've got to know how to defend better than that. Forget the Maddison bit. The Maddison bit is great. When the cross comes in, 3 players around Son, you've got to fight. But there you go. So Liverpool, I think 2-2. Liverpool again won today, didn't they? 3-1.
3-1 against West Ham. Very quickly, Chelsea lost again. I just hope Poch is still there by the time they come to the Lane in early November. Early November.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a good result. That's not a good result at home.
But it's not a shock either.
Huh?
It's not a shock either.
No, it's not. People were saying. So he'll be under pressure. Brighton again.
Unbelievable. I think they're in the top. I think they're third now.
They're above you. They're above you. Yeah, they've gone third, because we drew today, So we're now 5th, you're 4th. We're on the same points. You've got Liverpool next week. We got Bournemouth. Again, very much depends on our injuries, whether we can go there and win, because Bournemouth got to win. You've got to win at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to win at Bournemouth. But no, listen,
right,
well done.
It was an entertaining game. Plenty to
well done for getting your draw at the Emirates. We haven't talked Europe because we haven't got time to talk Europe. But then let's be honest.
We'll talk when you play a proper European club, and not these Europa League conference teams that you luckily got in your group stages.
Let me tell you now.
Probably even easier.
Let me tell you now. PSV are a decent side. They will give us a much harder game in Eindhoven. They're not Real Madrid or Bayern.
I think the one European trophy you've won is probably more than what PSV have even won.
Let me educate you. We've won 2. Let's not go into trophies 1 because that's a very harsh subject.
Yeah, you don't want to get involved in the European.
I'm listening to Tottenham. I'm listening to Tottenham fans after the game, and they're all going, this team with Big Ange and we're back and da 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 da. Shut up. Mourinho, Koch.
Oh, your pain is coming through now. Conte. Your pain is coming. Your guard's been up all podcast, and now towards the end, you're venting your anger.
Not at all,
because
all it comes down to is this.
Today, my boy.
It comes down to this. Football is about trophies. It is. It's about and enjoying it with your kids and going to a game with your son and having those fantastic games. Tottenham have got to win a trophy. If they don't win a trophy, what's it all about?
Listen, you're deflecting from,
and that will be the end of North London.
You're deflecting from your team dropping 2 points. It's been nice talking to you yet again.
Our reserves did us proud.
Everyone, have a good week.
Have a good week, boys.
Same time.
See you later.